Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Shift is coming, my sister. Shift is coming. So I'm going to share this with you today of something that's happening within my life and how this is going to be relevant for you. And listen, you're going to hear what you hear within this. You know, I've had some interesting people that follow me now that really like the message of Women Wanting More, and maybe they're just messaging saying, hey, I love what you're doing, I love the podcast, thank you, it's helped me a lot. Or they're in the sisterhood, they come to my live event, or they're planning to coach with me. But it's interesting the things that come up. You know, I had someone the other day say to me, like, oh God, the walking and stuff, I could hear your feet, like, used to bug the shit out of me, and like, I get it now, right? So the reason I mention that is just to say, like, we're going to hear what we're going to hear. There'll be some things that I say to you that might even trigger you, piss you off. But here's what I want to share with you today. Right now in my life, there's major resistance coming up. And I will link up in the show notes the resistance, and I'll explain really quickly what that means. But there's 2 episodes actually of that resistance, part 1 and part 2. And the resistance is essentially the shit that comes up in your life that seems like it is, you know, what people refer to as like, well, like I'm getting a message from the universe. Look, I'm not supposed to do this. See? Like, here's that person that's telling me I shouldn't do this. Here is, you know, the sign of something. Here is, so I'll give you an example. So just the resistance coming up in my life right now. Parenting. My 6.5-year-old. I love my Tyson Jack, my big boy. Oh boy, the emotions that are running up wild with him these days, and the pushback with the behaviors. And, you know, I'm really reading and understanding more of how kids' brains really work, which, by the way, if you haven't read the book, it's called Whole Brain Child. And I'm reading now, which is like their second book, which is called No Drama, Discipline. Like, just brilliant books to just understand the way that, how kids' brains work. Some of the things that we expect them to understand and recognize and be able to do, and they just simply aren't there yet physiologically, right? So, you know, I'm understanding more and more and just, you know, learning better ways on how to help them. But holy fuck, it has been a tough week of that. It has been a tough week of that then too within our marriage. Because when these things often come up with Tyson, you know, Ed and I will get in fights sometimes and disagreements, and we'll always come to work this shit out. It always comes up for like good stuff, but that's been coming up. What else? That's right. We have no sitter this week. As of today, it is Thursday for our date night. We have a nanny service that we've used, and they're usually phenomenal. But apparently everyone uses this nanny service now. It's moving into summer months, and my usual booking 4 weeks in advance, which I've done for date nights, we don't have one yet for this week. And for us, our date nights are fucking oxygen to our marriage. It is an absolute must. And so I'm like, oh God, we have no adult time. Okay, let me just keep meditating on that Sunday coming up. They said, well, maybe we can find someone for Sunday night. I'm like, whatever it takes, man. I will pay you 3 times the amount. Like, just give me fucking 4 hours. Resistance coming up in my business. I'm filling up now for the live event. I'm still committed to having 50 women there, but we're not there yet. And we're 9 days away, right? Resistance. Resistance coming up big fucking time in my body right now. So what went from about 4 weeks ago to, hey, I think I hurt my knee in boxing, to, hey, maybe it's a really tight calf, to, hey, I'm at my chiropractor's office with my very good friend Craig, and it's funny because it's kind of like it's progressed the way that I feel this in my body to really, we're like, oh yeah, it's sciatica. Like, fuck, I know this. I used to practice for like 15 years, sciatica, and I'm doing some, of course, getting checked and adjusted and decompression, and it's like, it's painful as fuck. I can barely sleep at night. You know, walking makes it better because movement is good, but then sitting, driving is the absolute worst. And, you know, I've got kids to pick up and boxing to go to, and my boxing, I'm still going, but it's been super modified and I can't spar, and it's been the toughest part, has been that, the resistance of that, because I'm so physical and my boxing has been something out of everything that I've ever done physically in my life, and that includes when I lifted for 33 years and did CrossFit for the last 8 or so. I feel so powerful. Boxing. It's something that is so completely aligned with who I am that to not have that, or to not have, for me to be able to do it at the level that I want to, is incredibly difficult. It feels like it's cutting off my arm right now. And so, a lot of stuff just came up for me this morning where I was just like, fuck. And when I was at my chiropractor's office, which is BackFit in Victoria, by the way, the best place in Vancouver Island to go to, and it's just a lot of pain. And I don't really experience pain in my body. It's such a weird thing to experience for me. And it's been a good 4 weeks of this. And I'm like, I'm good. My body's healing. Like, I got this kind of thing. And very positive through the whole thing. And then just today, I just kind of hit a wall. I just started crying. I'm texting my husband. I'm like, where are you at home? You at Starbucks? Like, I got to talk to you right now. Fuck. Major resistance coming up. And so here's what I said to Ed just before coming out here now to go pick up Tyson from school, is that the biggest thing that I feel within me right now is this big shift coming. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's the next thing. It's the next level. There's a big push with expansion right now, and when that shit is coming up in your life, when you have a major resistance happening, and maybe just one of the more pillars, let alone all fucking four like me right now, it is absolutely because there's massive shift coming down the pipeline. Good shift. Sounds like good shit. Good shift. Good stuff. The next level expansion. And I know whenever this has been happening in my life over the last couple of years since we started living this, which is what I teach here in the podcast, is it's exciting and then it's scary. And then it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then it's like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not ready. And then it's like, yeah, let's go. And then it's, holy shit, what the fuck? It's just back and forth. So why am I giving you this story right now? Why am I sharing this message? Because I feel there's been this bullshit thing that's been fed to us that says, if we come up with any resistance, it's a sign. You shouldn't do it. You should back off. And although that may be true in some instances, I'm gonna make a bold statement and say that 99.9% of the time, it is bullshit. That statement is bullshit. It's not fucking truth. It is the resistance saying, how badly do you want this? Badly do you want it? So as I'm walking up to school, I don't know if you heard this, but I just heard the bell go off. I got to hustle. Here's your more tip for today then, sister. Where are you experiencing resistance in your life right now? Where is it? Where is it in the more pillars? Your marriage? Is it with your business and work? Is it with your body? Is it with your family? And here's the second piece of this. This is an easy one. Just keep doing the fucking work to get what you want. That is it. And that is everything. Do not stop. Do not give up. Do not say this is a sign. That is fucking bullshit. That is your excuse looking for a reason to stop doing the work that's hard. Keep doing the work. I promise you, there is expansion on the other side of this. You are simply hitting threshold. And this is how the resistance shows up. Now listen, sister, if you really want to go deeper onto this and what you're hearing in the podcast, my next live event has 22 seats left. And because you listen to this podcast, I'm gifting you one. No excuse. I've had some people too that's like, some women, they're like, I got a ticket. And they're like, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. There's all this resistance. Said one the other day, Amber, she's like, oh my God, I got my plane ticket, I got my hotel. Like, I'm coming. I'm like, yes, you are. I knew you could do it. Believed in you. So to get your ticket then, sister, again, just 22 left, and this is my last live event. I have no more planned at this point. This is your time, Saturday, June the 10th, Victoria, BC, Canada. So you're going to head over to drkarenosborn.com/live, L-I-V-E. Enter in your email. You're going to watch a quick movie of me sharing how this whole event came to be. And then you'll have a chance to get one of the remaining complimentary
tickets and only 22-ish, I believe, left. So that's over at drkarenosborne.com/live, Live, but I'll also link this up in the show notes. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.